Ableton just had a huge update, so we're going to explain and go over every little thing so that you know exactly what to expect. You probably already have auto updates going for you, but just in case you don't see these features we're talking about, just go to the Ableton website, log into your account, and then you'll have to download the newest patch. So we got Ableton Live 11.3. And the first new thing is a brand new synth, and it doesn't matter if you have the light version or the suite or anything in between. You get this new little synth. They're saying its minimal layout and interactive controls make adjusting the sound easy for musicians new to synthesis, but it also gives experienced sound designers a broader sonic palette, whatever the heck that means. But let's jump in and take a quick look at this thing. So if we go under our instruments right here, you'll see this new one called Drift. And like Ableton does with everything else, there's probably a bunch of presets. So if we look under here, oh wow, there's quite a bit here. So if we take a look at this synth right here, you can see we first have our two oscillators. We have some control over it. We can pick what they are, square, saw, sine. And same with the second oscillator. You have a level of volume right here. For each of the oscillators, you can detune, you can pick the octave, and you can shape it as well. And yeah, so we could just make a quick bass patch. Let's jump in here. Let's go down an octave, and maybe we'll put this one down too. And I like that it gives you this little update right here so you can see exactly what you're doing when you turn all of these knobs. And we created this nasty bass sound, literally just turning down the volume on some of these oscillators and turning these octaves down. It sounds pretty dang cool. The next update is improved auto warping, and you can see right here, it says it's been improved, now importing audio files are warped with more accuracy. So that's pretty cool because it didn't do the best job before. And if we jump over to the release notes, we get a little more detail here. It says it's using a new auto warp algorithm. Both downbeat and tempo variations are more accurately analyzed, making it possible to work with longer samples and entire songs without the need for manual warping. I've done a ton of that. First, what you're going to want to do is you want to go up to your preferences right here, and then we can turn auto warping on. I usually have it turned off by default, and you can see it's right here, auto warp long samples. So we can turn that on right here. Once you do that, you're going to have to restart Ableton, close it, open it back up before that takes into effect. All right, let's grab a random acapella. This one says Future on it, and we're just going to bring it on into our project right here. If we double click into the sample, you're going to see it placed a bunch of warp markers on each of the beats for us, and it went ahead and found the BPM of that sample and already put it there for us. And let's see how it sounds out of the box.
You can see the G name. No one going crazy, ready to split for the get name. If it wasn't for Google, man, that bitch run on my nickname. Try to make that truck on a watch and it was plain Jane.
So yeah, it's safe to say that's a definite improvement from what it used to be. But there's one other feature that heavily benefits from this. So we're going to drag this sample onto a MIDI track now, and then we can go ahead and put this into splice mode. And what we're going to do is we're going to turn this onto Beatz. Now you have a bunch of other modes that you can go by and sort by, but I think Beatz works the best, especially for probably what you're going for. I like to set the divisions to maybe 1 bar. You could even set them to 2 or 4 bars. And then we can see how well this is working. Is it going to fit right into our beat or what have it? So let's actually go ahead and turn off the melody. And I'm just going to play on my keyboard a little bit and let's see if this will fit in. So yeah, just having it line up perfectly like that and not having to do any extra work makes this such a breeze, and it actually makes Ableton a lot more comparable to the Serato sampler plugin. The next update is more MPE capable instruments. So you don't necessarily need an MPE device to take a hold of this new functionality, and I'll show you in just a minute. So they added it to all of these different instruments that they've previously had in Ableton. So let's jump over right here. I'm just going to load up one of them. Let's find analog. So here's analog, and if you have an MPE capable device, you can pretty much modulate any of these parameters now. But you can also just do it in Ableton too. So what you'll notice now is if you go into analog right here, you got pretty much everything in here. We can modulate literally everything that is on this menu, and it's really nice. So if you want to just change the octave, we want to detune it on the fly, just by clicking onto that and going ahead and doing it, with the melodies that you make. And if you want to modulate it just in the clip, you can go right here to the envelopes and you can do it all from here as well. We're going to pick analog and then we can go in here. Let's say we want to change the octaves. I found out something new actually. I think it's new. So if we want to go ahead and change the octaves, maybe we want to go down like a full 3 octaves right here. Then we can go back up to 2. And maybe we go back up to our original after that for a while. And then maybe after this, we go down and we stay down. You could do something like this, for instance. I don't know if this was available before, but upon my discovery, I found out you could do this. So what you can do is you can actually move these lines around. So you see how it makes that plus sign right by your mouse right here, and that allows you to add a point or add a little dot here so you can make a different curve or things like that. But if you actually back off a little bit until that goes away, and then you click and drag, you can move these things around. Like as you can see here, I can move this all around doing it like that. And that could be a really easy way to go ahead and adjust something instead of having to manually move this one, then move this one. You can literally just click in the right spot and then you can go ahead and move it that way. So next we have some updates to the MPE control device, which we'll take a look at. And also the no echo MIDI effect now supports MPE. And there's an update to some of the chord library. And what these are is a bunch of different presets under some of these new things and under some of the instruments that already exist. So in our MIDI effects right here, we have the MPE control. This device you'll know about if you have an MPE capable device. But if you don't, this is how you use it right here. And as you can see, you can do different things with the press, slide, and note PB. This plugin right here called No Echo is now MPE supported. So now you can use this right here. You can turn on this MPE and you can see you can dial it to the press, slide, and note pitch bend, and you can get some crazy results using this. And then you got that updated chord library. So things like that will be different patches and things like that that are spread throughout Ableton. Ableton also just came out with the Push 3. And I'm pretty sure the software on this one is different from the others. You guys will have to let me know if you know, but I'm pretty sure that's the only one that can stand alone now. So you don't need to connect that to a DAW or anything. This is on the Ableton YouTube channel if you guys want to check it out. This thing looks dope. I mean, come on. So there's some of the slide functionality you can see. You're probably going to see people start DJing with this thing now. The fact that it's standalone is so dang cool. You can see right here, he's putting it down on the desk and he's going to hook a guitar up to it. Let's check this out. And you can make music right on this thing, so you don't even necessarily have to have your computer with you or anything to make music. And all the features that we talked about today all build into making this thing even better, right? Because you got the advanced sampling techniques now, all the MPE controls, all of that plays into this device being amazing as well. I'm expecting the other Ableton Push 1 and 2 to also have a major software update, but I'm not 100% sure that it's modular or that it can be used as a standalone. So those are the big updates. There's also smaller things like optimized CPU in certain modes, different UI changes to some of the plugins, more presets and things like that. There's a bunch of little small things and a bunch of bug fixes and updates as well. And if you guys want to learn more about that, you can go under the exact release notes right here. You can copy this URL if you'd like. It's release notes live 11 beta. And then you can see what they did on every single one of these releases. I'm considering doing a separate tutorial on the new synthesizer drift and going more into depth with that and showing you guys some basic sound design and how you can use that thing and maximize its potential. So if that sounds interesting, you guys definitely comment below. And also, let me know, what is your favorite update to this and how are you liking it? I mean, Ableton is coming back and it's kicking butt with these amazing updates, and I'm excited to see where all of this goes. I wish I could grab that push 3 too. It looks so awesome. But besides that, guys, thank you for watching this one all the way to the end. If you're new here, consider subscribing to the channel because we make tutorials like this on Ableton and different things all of the time, and we'd love to have you here. Also, consider smashing that like button so we can get this video in all of the Ableton users' eyes so they can see all these beautiful updates. Besides that one, Matt, I'll be catching you all again real soon. Peace out.